What do Liverpool and Arne Slot need to do to keep the momentum going? I've got 5 things, and you might not like one of them at the very end, so stick around so you can comment on it. All right, let's take a look at what Liverpool need to do, what Arne Slot needs to do to keep this going. Keep that high press humming at all times. The team pressing as a whole, as a unit, made a world of difference against Aston Villa. You could see it really from, the 10 to 15 minute mark on. Villa couldn't do anything. They couldn't get into any rhythm. And Liverpool was winning the ball back very, very high up the pitch in very, very good positions. And it made it very difficult for Villa to really get on the offensive side of the ball. And that helped our defense. That helped our midfield. That gave us many more options in the attack because that high press was humming at all times. Dominic Szoboszlai was a ridiculous beast in that game. You could see it when he was near the ball. Even when Villa was possessing, they were scared. They were scared of Dami Schlabbers and what he could potentially do. I would be scared too, to be honest. So that's number one. You have to keep that high press going at all times. And I'm excited to see what they can do against another team this week in Real Madrid who will not be playing in a low block. They will not be playing for long throw-ins and long set pieces. So I'm excited to see what we can do against a team like that. All right. We need to use the in-form players. Arne Slot doesn't need to get cute and weird. He just needs to play the players that are currently in form. A couple names that come to mind, Andy Robertson I thought was really good against Villa. And I think he should be the left back, the starting left back of choice moving forward. Much, much better than Milos Kerkez. We look so much more composed at the back with him in there. And then Federico Chiesa. Are we ever going to get to see him start in an important game for Liverpool? I'm just not sure. But I do think he deserves a start. I actually think he deserves to start moving forward until he proves us that he's not the guy. I think he has proven to us that he is the guy. And then Hugo Ekitike, I think, is our number one striker, number one attacking player. He needs to be the guy. He needs to be the focal point of this attack. He has been fantastic. I think he's only had maybe 1 or 2 games where he's looked a little flat, but he looked good against Villa. Nearly scored a goal, was, not super close, but he was offsides. And then I think there's some other players. Obviously, we're going to get to the other 2 here on this list. But I think we need to get Florian Wirtz fully integrated. I do want to see Arne Slot continue to play this guy. I think he's got loads of talent, loads of potential, and I think they need to get their German star in sync with the rest of the team. I think that is the only key ingredient missing with this guy, that he's just not in sync with the team. I think Wirtz plays at such a high level, a high mental level, that if there is an element of disconnectedness from the rest of his teammates, he is always looking 2 steps ahead. And if the his teammates around him are not thinking in the same way, they're going to miss the cues, and there's going to be some really ugly passes, that's what we've seen. But Florian Wirtz is still connecting. He's still creating chances. And I think it's only a matter of time before this really clicks into full gear. So I want to see him still continue to get minutes and start for this team. I think Arne Slot sat him. He did not start Wirtz in the fixture against Aston Villa because I think he wants him to play against Real Madrid, and I do expect him to start there. Okay, these are the 2 guys that I should have talked about when I talked about the in-form players, but I knew that this was coming down the pike. So Grab and Szoboszlai, they are must-starts for me. They have to be the first 2 guys on the team sheet. I think Szoboszlai has been our best player overall this season. And then you can see the difference when this team has Ryan Gravenberch in versus when they do not. There is a big, big difference. And I think these 2 are Liverpool's now midfield duo, that double pivot. What was once maybe Gravenberch and McAllister. I think now is Gravenberch and Szoboszlai. But McAllister, I don't want to knock him. He was fantastic against Villa. I think the old McAllister was back. I loved seeing him fired up. But I do think Grav and Sobo are the two guys currently in this team. Now, you can rotate. We've got now, I think, 4 or 5. Jones is hurt, but I think we've got 4, maybe 5. You can rotate between Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, McAllister, Wirtz, and maybe Jones as well. So I think we've got a lot of good options there, but Grav and Sobo for me are must starts. All right, finally, guys, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to say this, but we need to sit Mo Salah, even with the goal that he scored. I know it was a good goal. It was from the high press. It was actually a bizarre goal. He took it well, first touch. But even with him scoring against Villa, I just think so much of our attack is disrupted by Mo Salah. And I feel like I have to say this every time. Club legend, living legend, one of the best to ever do it. But imagine the team we saw against Villa with Federico Chiesa in there, okay? Salah looked fine in the first half, but just, oh man, there's so many times where we get on an attack, we get on the break, we get it to Salah, and it just falls flat, and it just dies. And there were a couple plays against Villa in particular where you could see his teammates, the disappointment. I think it was Szoboszlai who made a run. He was wide open. Salah missed it or just ridiculously hit it over the bar or whatever. And you could see the head just go down, like, so frustrating. And I just feel like if we had 90 minutes or 70 minutes of somebody like a Chiesa who's composed, who can pass, whose first touch is very, very good, he's not going to beat anybody on the dribble, but neither is Mo Salah. And so I'm saying it, guys. I still want to see Mo Salah as a bench player, as an impact sub. And I just feel like this team would hum. I think it would click. I think the gears would fall into place. And I think this team could be really something special. And I don't have anything against Mo Salah. I just watch the games. And I can't tell you how many times, even against Villa, I'm like, what are you doing? What are you thinking? Dude, come on. Like, it's just frustrating to watch. So I'm sitting Mo Salah, and I'm putting some other players in there really just to see what we can do with a team that flows and connects and passes. And again, nothing against Mo Salah. But guys, I just want to win, all right? That's all I want to do. And I'd love to know what you think. Get your comments in below. And as always, up the Reds.